Good evening, everyone. My name is Leanne Ham, and I'm a Nova Scotia Community College student studying Office Administration. Tonight I'd like to talk to you about an issue that's very near and dear to me. It's irritable bowel syndrome. Every day, millions of North Americans suffer from invisible illnesses. They may appear perfectly healthy, happy, and fully functioning, but inside, their body may be waging a war on itself. Sometimes it's hard to imagine what it would be like to spend time each day coping with illness in some form. But for many North Americans, this is the reality. I am one of the invisible sufferers. Though there are many illnesses that could put you in this category, my daily struggle is with irritable bowel syndrome, otherwise known as IBS. If you were to Google IBS, it would give you a definition something like this. IBS is a common disorder. It affects the large intestine, otherwise known as the colon, and causes symptoms like cramping, bloating, abdominal pain, gas, diarrhea, and/or constipation. So basically, a large group of symptoms that you really wouldn't want to discuss with anyone. IBS is a chronic condition that you must learn to cope with. In other words, it's not going to go away. We can all agree that we can think of worse things that could come as a diagnosis, but that doesn't minimize the blow. The illness, discomfort, and pain that ultimately brought you to seek help and a cure is not necessarily curable, but it is manageable. It won't be easy, but there are many things you can do to cope. After being diagnosed with IBS, it's normal to feel helpless, isolated, and misunderstood. It may seem as though your family and friends are functioning every day, going to the events they love, working, going to school, coping with their lives without issue, and you always seem to be struggling. Although you look healthy on the inside, things may be wrong. And this is very difficult for others to understand. Some, though it may be hurtful, will call your illness an excuse to stay home, an excuse to miss work, an excuse to miss events, an excuse to opt out on everything. But believe me when I say that the last thing IBS sufferers want to do is opt out. We want to be in the front row of the concert. We want to be at the shows. We want to be at parties and events and functions. We want to go to work every day, the same as everyone else. But sometimes, that's not an option. Some IBS sufferers can control their symptoms with diet. Others, diet may not be enough for. They may need stress management, exercise, and other coping mechanisms such as counseling or medications. At my time of diagnosis, I would have been considered low functioning. I was missing my sports events, I wasn't able to go to school regularly, and I overall was just feeling unwell. It was very devastating as a 14-year-old girl. After 4 years and adapting to a gluten, dairy-free lifestyle and avoiding high sugar intake, I would now be considered high functioning. I have very few days that limit my ability to do the things that I love, go to work, go to school, attend sporting events, etc. And I generally feel well, which is the best that I've felt in the last 10 years. IBS diets are a common coping mechanism. Eating smaller portions more frequently throughout the day versus 3 large meals can help sufferers to manage the symptoms that come with digesting food. Avoiding fatty, processed foods and taking on a high-fiber diet can also help, as well as avoiding dairy in some cases. If diet alone doesn't make the symptoms minimal or help them to disappear, there are medications that can help regulate and soothe the colon. Stress is also a major contributor to IBS symptoms. Good stress management and relaxation skills can help IBS sufferers to keep things in control. Exercise is a great coping mechanism. It increases colon function, transit time, and reduces intestinal gas. Meditation and yoga have both shown a decrease in symptoms for IBS sufferers. 38% of participants in a study by the University of North Carolina showed over 50% decrease in symptoms after taking on an 8-week program. Though an IBS diagnosis can be upsetting, using diet, exercise, and stress management can help you manage your symptoms and minimize them to help you live the lifestyle you desire. From one IBS sufferer to another, I have been there, I am with you, I am for you, and I believe in you. You are often so much stronger than you think.